Have you ever been bashed by your kids and you've heard the words before? They are the exact same insults and words that your ex has been throwing your way for quite some time, and now they're being parroted out of your children's mouths. Many people have experienced this. And yesterday I talked to a expert therapist about this very topic, and she told me exactly how we should be handling it. This podcast expert, it's not going to drop for a couple weeks, but I'll let you know when it drops, is talking about alienation and the alienation dynamic and the resist-refuse dynamic, and basically broken families post-divorce where you have children rejecting parents and different ways that you can combat that, because we all agree that's not healthy. And the best possible solution post-divorce is for kids to have both parents in their lives and have a healthy relationship with both parents. So if you've ever been on the receiving end of hearing that come out of your children's mouths, your first reaction might be anger. Your first reaction might be to tell them that that's not true, that they haven't heard that those thoughts are not their own, that they were planted there by their ex, and that would be a mistake. That would be wrong. That is not going to help your quest. If you are a targeted parent or somebody is talking shit behind your back, that is not going to help you. So she told me exactly what you need to do, and that is to listen to your children. Listen to your children when they say, and let's take an example. You missed a choir concert or a baseball game or a soccer game or something like that. You had a conflict, or you were out of town, or maybe you were on a date with your new person, and the other parent has told your child that you don't love them, don't care about them, that they're not a priority anymore. So it would be very easy for you to rage against this child. That's not true. What about the 90 other games I went to? I always come to your concerts, blah, 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 blah. That is not going to help your cause. The things coming out of your children's mouth, whether they were planted or not, are things that your children are hearing and thinking and feeling. And so the only way that you can counteract this type of vitriol is to help your children process it in a way like a therapist would. So you want to ask, tell me more. That must have been really disappointing that I wasn't able to come to the baseball game. Did you feel like that meant I didn't care about you, or I was choosing other things instead of you? Like, let your children process their emotion, even if that emotion has been planted by the other parent. Then after your children start talking, after they are feeling a certain level of comfort with you, where they're able to say, yes, I was super disappointed, and yes, it did feel like you were choosing other people over me. You want to validate those feelings and then gently challenge some of those beliefs. Well, what are some ways that we can make sure that you feel like I love you and support you even on those days when I can't make it, because I'm not always going to be able to make it to your games, but I still love you and I'm still supporting you. And so how can we make sure that you don't feel like that's not true? Or something like that. I'm in no way an expert, but I thought that this tip was spot on. And I know, being a divorced mom and a divorce attorney, I've seen this situation come up a million times. I've had this situation come up with my own kids, and I have not handled it the very best. So it's very easy to get defensive, and that's not going to be our best friend here. So having a plan in advance, you know what your ex is saying about you. They've said it to you, they said it about you, you know what they're going to say. So imagine this now coming out of your children's mouth, and then practice and visualize how you're going to handle it in a way that is most beneficial for them, because the alienation dynamic, or the resist refuse, or the dynamic where relationships get broken between children and parents is, I think, the biggest tragedy coming out of divorce. And if we can arm ourselves with tools to not have that relationship damaged between parent and child, we're going to be 1,000 times better off, and so are our children. Have you had this happen? Have you found success in this? What are some tips and tricks that you've learned? Talk about it in the comments so that we can all learn from each other.